Prince Harry doesn't just look lost, he looks broken. The sparkle's gone, the charm faded, and what's left is a man who seems to be unraveling in plain sight. Once the bold, cheeky royal who stole hearts around the world, Harry now drifts through public life like a ghost of his former self. Even his most loyal supporters have stopped defending him, because this isn't just scandal anymore. It's a royal downfall playing out in real time. Let's face it, Harry was never the most emotionally grounded member of the monarchy, but the latest rumors circling him have taken a far darker turn. These aren't just about family feuds or awkward media appearances anymore. There are whispers of hospital visits, rumored substance abuse, and unsettling reports of him being found unresponsive. And the people speaking up aren't random internet voices. They include bold personalities like Lady Colin Campbell and Thomas Markle Jr., who aren't known for pulling punches. They're not sugarcoating it. They're saying Harry looks emotionally shattered, mentally drained, and they're pointing fingers. Both Meghan Markle and her mother, Doria Ragland, are being accused of possibly contributing to his downward spiral. Lady Colin, infamous for her unfiltered royal commentary, believes Harry's troubles run deep, possibly as far back as the womb. She even referenced Princess Diana's battle with bulimia during her pregnancy with Harry, hinting that such early trauma could have left lasting psychological scars. It's a controversial theory, no doubt, but one that paints Harry not just as a man making bad decisions, but as someone truly damaged, susceptible, and easy to control. And in Lady C's view, Harry has fallen into the hands of those who exploit that vulnerability. She singles out Meghan, calling her the wasp in his life, always stinging, always fueling his worst impulses. But what really sent shockwaves through royal watchers is what Thomas Markle Jr. claimed. He says Harry was discovered unconscious by his own longtime security guard. Even more alarming, Harry's team hasn't issued a single denial. Normally, the Sussex PR machine is swift and aggressive when it comes to shutting down damaging stories. This time, silence. Markle Jr. went even further, suggesting Meghan and Doria may have left something behind, hinting it could have been drug-related. Yes, it's a bold, almost unthinkable accusation, but he's not presenting it as speculation. And when you factor in older rumors of Doria's alleged drug history, mentions of marijuana and even crack cocaine, people are starting to look at the situation through a whole new lens. Now let's talk about Meghan's history, and it's not exactly reassuring. From the moment she stepped into royal life, she made bold moves. Meghan didn't just win Harry's heart, she isolated him. One by one, his ties began to fray. Old friendships faded, his military affiliations dissolved, and his once close bond with Prince William completely shattered. Insiders like Lady Colin Campbell have been blunt. Meghan didn't just allow these changes, she orchestrated them. The narrative is chilling. According to sources, she wanted Harry detached, drifting, and fully reliant on her. And then there's the financial angle, the one few dare to say out loud. In the event of a divorce, Meghan walks away with little royal wealth. But if Harry were to die, everything changes. As his widow, Meghan could gain legal control over any unprotected assets, not to mention full guardianship of what Archie and Lilibet stand to inherit until they come of age. It's a dark scenario, but one that's being whispered behind palace walls. No one's openly accusing her of foul play, yet. But the fear that she could take advantage of Harry's unraveling is no longer confined to conspiracy corners. It's entering mainstream conversations. Even outlets that once bent over backwards to praise the Sussexes are pulling back. Us Weekly, once among their biggest media allies, recently ran a cover piece that barely had a kind word to offer. Allies are turning to observers, and no one's shocked anymore. They've stopped defending. They've started watching, because the royal fairy tale is long gone, and what remains is a slow-motion collapse. It's painful to witness. Prince Harry, once the golden boy of the monarchy, the war hero, the charismatic rebel, has become a cautionary tale. The mood around him isn't disappointment anymore. It's dread, and it's not the gentle sympathetic kind. It's the feeling you get watching something crash in real time. His recent appearances only add to the concern. The sparkle in his eye, gone. The energy, missing. At that German military event, and again in China, he spoke. He smiled, but something was eerily off. He looked like Harry, but the essence, the spirit that once made him magnetic, was completely absent. He delivered his speeches like a man on autopilot, checked all the boxes, hit every cue, but emotionally, he wasn't there. And even the most loyal defenders have fallen silent. The social media activists who once claimed Meghan and Harry were revolutionaries challenging royal oppression, they've either vanished or turned critical themselves. This isn't just a PR misstep, it's the unraveling of everything they built. The brand, the image, the movement. And speaking of brands, Netflix, once their golden ticket, is quietly distancing itself. The company that signed them for blockbuster deals is, behind the scenes, slowly backing away. Insiders are finally saying out loud what many have suspected for months. Harry and Meghan flopped. The hype may have started strong. Yes, their initial docuseries sparked global headlines, but after that, silence. Nothing but empty follow-ups and unfulfilled potential. And now, even Netflix is feeling the heat. Co-CEO Ted Sarandos, who once bet big on the Sussexes, is reportedly facing backlash behind closed doors. What was once a glittering partnership has turned into a boardroom headache. Meanwhile, the royal family just scored a massive and very public win on the exact same platform. King Charles, in a surprising move, joined forces with Idris Elba for a Netflix special honoring 50 years of the Prince's trust. It wasn't just a documentary, it was a strategic flex, a statement, one that shouted loud and clear, the crown still holds power, we're relevant, we're respected, and we're not fading away. While Meghan and Harry tried to outplay the monarchy by walking away, they didn't become global icons. They became background characters in their own saga. Their big swing missed. Meghan's podcast didn't pull in elite guests or cultural buzz. In fact, her celebrity roster looked more like a casting call for relatives. Not stars, but their mothers. And that brings us to Doria Ragland, Meghan's once respected, soft-spoken mother. Once praised as a calming anchor, Doria is now under growing suspicion. Her role is being re-examined as whispers of her past resurface, particularly claims of previous drug use. True or not, those rumors are reshaping the narrative. Some now see Doria not as a bystander, but as part of the machinery. A quiet enabler in a household that's allegedly isolating Harry from everything and everyone who once grounded him. The once lovable prince is now described as lost, trapped in a reality he thought would bring freedom, but instead delivered a gilded cage. What's worse, no one seems to be throwing him a lifeline. The Harry we once knew, the warm, funny royal who hugged children and made crowds erupt in laughter, has vanished. In his place is a man who looks worn down, emotionally vacant, and painfully out of place. And Meghan, she didn't just sever ties, she torched the past. The royal family who once shielded Harry from the media storm are now cast as villains in a plot she helped write. But that story's lost its magic. Public sympathy has dried up. When Harry lashed out at the very people who raised and protected him, the tone shifted. It didn't feel brave, it felt like betrayal. Now, with nothing left to blame and no distractions left to deploy, the silence is damning. The chaos is deafening. And perhaps the most gut-wrenching part, everyone can see it. Every photo, every awkward speech, every staged appearance screams the same thing. I'm fine. But his eyes tell another story. One of a man spiraling while the world watches, and no one rushes in to stop the fall. But his eyes tell a different story, one of quiet collapse. There's a blankness in his expression, a kind of emotional vacancy that no photo op can hide. His movements feel rehearsed, his voice hollow. He's not living, he's performing. And you don't need to be a body language expert to see it. Something inside Prince Harry is deeply broken. People loved Harry because he was genuine. He messed up, yes, but he owned it. That vulnerability made him human, relatable, but now that spark is gone. The rebellion that once felt empowering now seems empty, as if it wasn't truly his decision to rebel, but someone else's strategy wrapped in his image. Lady Colin Campbell said it best. Meghan didn't free Harry, she unleashed his darkest traits. The anger, the isolation, the tendency to implode. And when you really listen to what insiders are whispering, it's not just about poor choices anymore. It's about fear, the real gut punch kind. Because if this decline keeps going, what's the next headline? Another collapse? Or something far worse? Something final? These aren't baseless fears. These are concerns voiced by people who've known Harry for years. People who once stood by him and now feel helpless watching from the sidelines. What makes all this more unsettling is the mounting suspicion around Meghan's intentions. What used to be dismissed as tabloid noise is now being discussed seriously. The legal implications, the financial control she would hold as a widow, the eerie silence from her end as Harry unravels. She hasn't been directly accused, but her image remains untarnished, eerily pristine. While Harry visibly deteriorates, Meghan remains camera-ready, smiling, polished, perfectly poised, and the public is starting to notice. Even once loyal outlets that glorified their love story are pivoting. The narrative has shifted. It's no longer about a brave couple escaping tradition. It's about two people who monetized victimhood until the sympathy ran out. What once felt like a story of freedom now reeks of manipulation and regret. And while Meghan might be busy planning her next PR pivot, a new docuseries, another podcast, a glossy book deal, Harry looks like a man who's fading, not just hurt, not just wounded, lost. And the most terrifying part, he might not even realize it. His entire demeanor screams defeat, because this war he thought he was winning, it wasn't a battle for liberation. It was a game he was never prepared to play. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a cautionary tale, a brutal reminder that celebrity can't heal trauma, and fame doesn't replace real connection. That if you push away everyone who truly knew you, you'll eventually be left surrounded by people who only care what they can extract from you. And when you're no longer useful, they'll let you fall, quietly, completely, while they move on to the next chapter, without you. What do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Is Harry spiraling? Or is there more to this story than we're being told? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because one thing's clear. This isn't just royal drama anymore. It's a slow motion unraveling the world can't stop watching.